Okay, you're up.
Great, thanks, Amanda. Well, my name is Catherine. I am from Mayo, living in London. I'm 28 and I work as a social worker. So the main reason I came to Amanda is because I was stuck in a bloody rut and I couldn't see any way through. And I think I'd been following Amanda for a while, and she was probably the first person that came to mind. Probably haven't told you any of this, Amanda, but here we go.
No, this is
And I
exciting.
thought, wow. I was like, she's the lady that can help me. So I reached out to Amanda and here I am. I think for me, the biggest thing was, I suppose, my job. So I'm a social worker for the courts. So I write a lot of statements. So I sit in my bum for majority of the day. And there was very little movement and I wasn't eating very well. So I was probably eating once a day. And for me, I just couldn't understand, why am I putting all this weight on? I eat once a day. It was, in my view, quite nutritious at the time, but there was literally no movement. And I think then as well, I got a diagnosis, so an autoimmune that affects my joints. So I was in a lot of pain and the weight wasn't helping, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I just knew I sort of had to bring about some kind of change, and that is why I joined with Amanda. So the weight sort of crept up, and I think it was affecting me physically, but also mentally, to the point where I was like, I'm not getting pictures. Like, I can't bear to look at myself anymore. And I think I had an element of like dissociation. So I didn't view myself in the way that I'd look in pictures. So that didn't help matters, because I get a bit angry then when I looked at the pictures. So change had to come about, because like it wasn't normal the way I was sort of living. I was stuck as a hermit in a rut and couldn't see any light forward. And I think for me, I do enjoy my food, but I enjoy food that's actually tasty. I don't want to be eating cardboard that I'm just eating because I think, oh, this is going to do the trick. So I wanted my change to be sustained, and I wanted it to be slow and steady wins the race. So I've got a lot of friends that are doing coaching in Ireland, and they've got meal plans, and it just looks disgusting, to be totally honest. And I thought, well, I can't do that. I don't know how you're doing it. But their weight loss, I think, is crazy. Like, it's like 25, 30, maybe 40 kgs within 12 weeks. And for me, I know that wouldn't work, because once I steer away from that boring food and I don't feel satisfied, I'll be back to square one again.
That's mental, by the way. Sorry, I actually cannot
Yeah.
get over that. Oh my Lord.
Yeah. There's so many at the moment. And for me, that just, like, the results look amazing, but for me, it wouldn't be sustainable, and I would sort of go off track on the weekends. And I think I would go back to like that dissociation. Like, I'd probably forget about the weekend and they never existed, and it just creep up again. So I think for me, it's been a bit of a journey for me. I think self-care became one of the biggest things, and I'd be a massive advocate for it, but I'd never do it myself.
Practice what you preach. I know all about it.
I know, and I say it all the time. Like, somebody who's ranting and raving to me, I'm like, you should do this, but I never actually do it myself. So I think there was then, for a little while, I think my stress was so high, I was just not seeing movement. I was doing everything right, but it was the level of stress. And I think once that stress has reduced, the progress starts again. So I think that was it was frustrating for me, but equally something had to give. So obviously it did give. And I just think, like, then the diagnosis I had, and I still have, if I wasn't with Amanda, I don't think that the pain would be under control. So I think for different reasons, my bloods were a bit funny, so I couldn't be on the drugs they wanted me to be on. And they found it quite remarkable of why I wasn't in pain, despite like my joints were so swollen. And I just put it down to the movement. I think the resistant-based training, like, for me, I think getting that diagnosis equally was an eye-opener, because I don't want to be crippled in a couple of years. And I just needed to make more of a healthy lifestyle change, but a change is actually going to better me when I'm 50, when I'm 60, when I'm 70. So yeah,
Love
there we
that.
are.
I absolutely love that. And I told you I wasn't prompt at all, but in the interim, while Catherine has been with me, she also has another thing coming up. If you want to tell everybody what comes up next year.
So then I got engaged in Christmas, and my time at Amanda was running out in May, and I just thought, sod it, I might as well just to stay on board and keep going for another while, just to keep me accountable.
Absolutely. And she is the reason why I'm going home again in May. So for anybody, actually it's all Irish people on tonight. So for you guys who are going to be going back in May,
just invite Amanda to your wedding, no problem.
Exactly. That's your good excuse. That's your reason to get on board. Catherine, that was so good. I'm going to stop this. I think that